Hello my darlings, I hope you're all doing fine. Today to start off dinner, I'm starting off with a pot roast. Alright, I have a nice piece of chuck roast right here, rinsed, pat dried, and now I'm going to add a blend of seasoning. Starting off with some black pepper, I have some complete seasoning, some garlic and herb seasoning, beef bouillon, some dried thyme, and some garlic and herb seasoning. I'm going to combine that, and to my meat I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil, just so that the seasoning can get to adhere on the meat. And then we're going to set that aside and let it continue to marinate while we prep our other items. I want this beef to be nice and flavorful, so I'm making sure that every corner of this beef is seasoned. Then I'm just going to plastic wrap this while I prepped the rest of my items. Now before I roast that beef, I am going to prep my pork chops. Yes, I'm cooking some pork chops for hubby, and he doesn't like spice, so I have some mild jerk seasoning that I put together, some mild jerk marinade, and we're gonna add some of that. It's gonna add a nice flavor. Next, I'm adding in some garlic and herb seasoning, and we're also going to add some Creole all-purpose seasoning and some black pepper. Marinate. Now moving on to the rice and peas. These peas are tough. I bought them at the Hispanic store, but they add a nice little color to the rice and peas opposed to the peas that you'll get in Walmart. Alright, so I'm going to give them a nice rinsing, and then we're going to put them in the Instant Pot for 20 minutes. Now I'm going to add all my flavors in the peas while it's cooking. I'm adding in my salt. I'm going to crush a piece of ginger along with some pimento. You don't necessarily have to crush the pimentos, but sometimes when you're eating your rice and peas, you may accidentally bite on a whole pimento seed, and that's not a nice thing. All right, so sometimes I just rather to crush it. I know one must have wonder why me I whisper. It's early in the morning and people are still sleeping, and I didn't want to wake up everybody in the house, so I'm taking my time to do everything step by step so that dinner can be ready early. So now that I've gotten majority of the prepping out of the way, I'm gonna go get my pot roast on the way because it's gonna take some time. So that's the first thing we're gonna cook. hopefully this size meat can fit in this size pot. Because now that we have gotten a nice sear on both sides of the roast, we're gonna go ahead and remove the excess oil and saute my onions and garlic. Once my onions start to caramelize, I'm gonna go ahead and add in just a little bit of flour, maybe about 3 tablespoons, just to add some thickness to my sauce when the beef is done. Alright, so when the beef goes right down to gravy, it will have a nice little thickness and it's not too runny. Alright, so we're gonna add in our water or beef broth, whatever you have. I'm adding in some beef broth. We're gonna add back our beef. We're gonna add our potatoes, some scallion and thyme. Just flavor your meat with whatever you like to flavor it with. You know, I'm Jamaican, so of course I'm gonna add a little piece of ginger in there and some pimento seed, which is quite optional. And I added a piece of parsley for extra flavor, and my scallion, my thyme, and I went in with a tablespoon of jerk marinate as well. Trust me, that ginger is a secret weapon when you're cooking beef or pork, or even when I'm frying chicken. I add a little piece in my oil as well. I'm adding in some pepperoncini pepper because my daughter, she likes it in the pot roast. And this is not the typical Jamaican pot roast. This is just like a southern pot roast, okay? Because when we're making our Jamaican pot roast, you just gradually add some water until the meat tender. This is not what I'm making. So now the beef is in the oven. It's gonna take like a couple hours to cook, trust me. So I am gonna start off with my pork chops now. I'm searing them on both sides and then we're gonna put them in the oven, but this doesn't take long. So after searing them on both sides, it will take maybe 15 to 20 minutes in the oven, and they're nice and juicy. You don't want them to be dried out. So this is the remainder of the jerk marinade. I just pour some water on it and I'm just going to pour that over the pork chops. Just a little bit of water in the oven and it will be ready soon. Move on to the rice and peas. I feel like I've cooked rice and peas a million times on my channel, but this is just a cooking vlog, so bear with me. I'm just removing the scallion that is boiled out, adding my coconut milk. I add a little bit more of the dried thyme in there and, you know, taste it, add my extra flavor, extra salt, whatever it is that you like to add in your rice and peas. Some people like to add all-purpose seasoning. Whatever you like to use to flavor your rice and peas, you can go ahead and do that. All right, so my daughter come in the kitchen and she's like, "Mommy, from the other day look like your rice normalies. Please cook enough rice." All right, so enough rice they want, enough rice I'm gonna get. I added a lot of coconut milk, so I'm not adding a lot of butter or no butter at all, because that will make your rice and peas a bit on the softer side unless you like it like that. My husband do like it like that, but I like mine next to being shelly, not too shelly, but I'd rather it shelly than being soft. So I'd rather add some coconut oil, but if you want you can just add a little bit of butter if you're using a lot of coconut milk. Come see her and the guy cancel, so she
all charcoal bread. Okay? You know, let me give myself just in case. 718-555-0199. Oh, thank you so much.
Now it's tasting time, and them already say me not cook enough rice, and look how much throw the rice on the stove. Anyways, this rice and peas was so good. It had all the right flavor. The pork chops ready, rice and peas ready, and the beef is on the way. So now I'm gonna make some curried shrimp. Yes, basically the curried shrimp is for me, but I'm making my husband think that this is his special meal for Father's Day. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasonings.
You're fat. Who's that? Who? Who's that baby? No. Take down your foot.
By now, you can tell that my granddaughter is in the building. Yes, Trelawney is here, guys, and she's, being adventurous as usual. So I'm gonna go ahead burn my curry. I added some onion and garlic, and then we're gonna go in with the rest of the seasoning. All right, I had some bell peppers in there to add some color to the pot, and some scallion, thyme, and we're gonna go in with our coconut milk as well. The coconut milk does take a while to cook because we have to make sure that the coconut is cooked properly. All right, and the shrimp cooks very fast, so I'm not going to add the shrimp as yet. I'm just going to flavor the pots and then give the coconut milk at least a 5 minutes head start. All right, we're going to cover that down, let it simmer, and then we're going to add in our shrimp. I add in some fresh parsley to add some vibrant color to the pot. It's yellow, so you want to add some green or some red. That's why I added the red bell peppers. It's not mainly for flavor, it's for just a beautification of the plate, because a lot of people eat with their eyes. All right, so you have to make it look appealing. So we're just gonna let the shrimp cook down now for about 6 minutes, and it's ready. Everything is gonna be nice and juicy and ready. All right. Alright, it's obvious that the shrimp is ready. And guess what? The pot roast is ready. I just put it on the stove to reheat. And let me tell you, look, it's nice and juicy and tender, and I'm not tell no lie. Because I'm cook it, it tastes good. It was so flavorful and so nice. Look, pan potato and carrot. Yes, everything nice. Everything cooked nicely in the oven. Alright, so I guess it's dinner time. The only thing left is some vegetables. So I have some sweet kale vegetable mix already. I'm gonna add some cabbage to that, and then I'm gonna make my special coleslaw sauce. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and just separate this because the people in my house is so funny. Some want without mayo and some want with mayo. So I always have to make two different types. Okay, and in addition to that, I'm adding some pepperoncini. It was a nice touch to the vegetable mix. I'm also adding some pumpkin seed and cranberry, and that came with the sweet kale mixture, and it's also nice in the vegetable mix as well. So to my mayo, I'm adding my black pepper and salt. I'm adding a little sugar, a little vinegar, and I'm also adding a little spice. Yeah, a little cayenne pepper and some olive oil. All right, and then I'm gonna add just a little bit of mustard, not too much mustard, okay?
Man, I'm gonna ask you a question. How you enter will determine how this night.
For the next dressing sauce, it's just vinegar, salt, sugar, black pepper, and just a little olive oil. That's it. Here. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Dinner is ready. I posted this clip on Facebook and someone said that I'm going to destroy my husband's nature by giving him pork. First of all, I met my husband as a pork eater. I didn't eat pork because I didn't grow up eating it. Pork couldn't cook in my house at all. Alright, so he was the one that introduced it to me, and if I cook it now, I'll taste a little bit, and that's it. But we have all these kids after I met him, so I don't think that's true, sir. Let the man eat when he want to eat. Okay, happy Father's Day. Belated.
Yeah,
I didn't get to treat you last week, but here we go.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed some curried shrimp, oven roasted pork chops, rice and peas, and veggies.
Yeah, well, a treat is a treat. It doesn't matter when it comes, as long as it comes. So yeah. Pork turn up. It no burn up. Yeah, people, remember, like, subscribe, share, and eat.
Alright, taste the shrimp now.
Oh,
I know dinner time enough people, but you know, you say I want to pull up in belly.
yeah, you don't know. Curry shrimp. Yeah, man. 2 thumbs up. Chicken gyro is good today.
You gotta keep his greasy paws off of my fried chicken. We not gonna work.